What's up, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have some pretty interesting comments made by Marisa Tomei, the actress who of course brilliantly portrays this new iteration of Aunt May, who made some really interesting and saddening comments recently about Spider-Man No Way Home. In this video, we'll be discussing a prominent rumor about Spider-Man No Way Home and the fate of Aunt May, as well as people that have seen the film and various leakers talking about what exactly goes down with their character in the film. There will be spoilers in this video, but before we get into all of it, I want to remind you guys about the Spider-Man Far From Home Hot Toy figure giveaway. We'll be giving away a highly detailed Spider-Man Far From Home Hot Toy. Again, these are highly posable, highly detailed figures with interchangeable hands and heads and way more. So if you're interested to enter, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments of this video which of the three Spider-Man you're most excited to see. In a recent interview, Marisa Tomei, who of course portrays Aunt May herself, recently revealed that she had to talk to her therapist about the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home. This goes along with various insider reports, including reports from Tom Holland directly himself, stating that No Way Home would be the darkest Spider-Man movie. Not just the darkest Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, but the darkest Spider-Man movie to date, with various people that have seen the first 40 minutes of the film also confirming this, confirming that Tom Holland's Spider-Man would really suffer. Many fans previously had critiques for Tom Holland's Spider-Man that he did not suffer enough in his subsequent previous two outings, and that he was sort of Iron Boy Jr. and not the Spider-Man character that we all know and love, who, let's face it, suffering is a part of that main Spider-Man character. Here though, it appears to all be changing, as Marisa Tomei, along with others, has confirmed that No Way Home would be the darkest chapter for Spider-Man. So why exactly would Marisa Tomei have to tell her therapist the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home? Well, likely this could be her departure from the film. There were various soundtrack listings for this film going around, which did indicate that Aunt may actually die in No Way Home, with many fans also speculating that Green Goblin will actually be the one to take her out at the Feast Center. The Feast Center, which Aunt May prominently works at in the comic books but is not featured in the previous two iterations of the character. It was said that this would be Spider-Man's defining chapter, and again, the darkest hour for the character, especially for the MCU, and that the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home would be far from a happy one, and serve to re-establish and reset the character of Spider-Man for a brand new trilogy that was just recently announced. So what exactly does this mean? There are various fan recounts going around that in No Way Home, many people will in fact forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Tom Holland in his press for Spider-Man No Way Home called it dark and sad, and in no way fun. This was Tom's full quote. What people will be really surprised about is that it's not fun. It's dark and it's sad, and it's going to be really affecting. You're going to see characters that you love go through things that you would never wish for them to go through. And I was really excited to sort of lean into that side of Peter Parker and who he is as a character. Peter Parker is always someone who's looking up. He's always really positive. He's always like, I can fix this, I can do this. Whereas in this film, he feels like he's met his match. He's like, I don't know what to do. That was an aspect of the character that I'd never seen before. And I was really excited to tackle it. This is honestly something that I think that the previous two iterations of Spider-Man did really well, making Spider-Man the real underdog in his films. I know it may sound surprising to you guys, but in Spider-Man No Way Home, this will be the first time that Spider-Man will fight people with actual superpowers in a solo outing. His previous two villains, that being the Vulture and Mysterio respectively, didn't have any superpowers to speak of, and they got their enhanced abilities through technology. This time around, Tom Holland is going to be outmatched. He's fighting some very powerful individuals from separate universes entirely, and by the looks of it, it appears as if Green Goblin will be the one to take out Aunt May. There's a very prominent shot of Tom Holland's Spider-Man jumping to stop a pumpkin bomb, what appears to be the Feast Center from the comics, and again that we glimpse throughout the trailer. We also get a glimpse of Aunt May running in what appears to be the same building. It's likely that many members of the Sinister Six converge on this building, and Tom Holland arrives to try to stop them, but is ultimately far too late in saving Aunt May. this being the ultimate deciding factor, and why Marisa Tomei had to speak with her therapist. This is not the only option, however, although it is the most likely one that May will die, but many people are also pointing to the possibility that it could in fact be Happy Hogan that meets his end in No Way Home, and that it will ultimately be Happy that sacrifices himself for Aunt May and Peter Parker. One thing is for certain though, Peter Parker is going to go through a drastic character change in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one that even Tom Holland was looking forward to. As again before, the Peter Parker that we see is very different from his comic book counterpart. That's not in any way a bad way, as this is an early iteration and early depiction of the character, and a lot of the growth that he'll be going to that we ultimately see in the comics is coming now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It appears as if Marvel took one of the major critiques that fans had for the Tom Holland depiction of Spider-Man and took it into account with No Way Home, making No Way Home sort of this big moment that will ground the Peter Parker Spider-Man and turn him more into the comic book iteration that we all know and love. Peter Parker is not supposed to be a character with all of the answers. He's supposed to be a character that lacks many of them and makes more mistakes than almost any other superhero. But the fact that he keeps on fighting and keeps doing what's right is what makes Spider-Man so intriguing and compelling, not to mention inspiring for all of us. I am so excited to see what they have in store with us with Spider-Man No Way Home, and I think that it's a great idea to make this the dark chapter in the trilogy, especially since presumably we have another trilogy entirely in the wings with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on Marisa Tomei speaking with her therapist about the ending of No Way Home? And how do you feel about the tragic aspect of Spider-Man No Way Home? Do you think that Aunt May or Happy Hogan will meet their demise in the film? Again, also guys, don't forget to enter the Far From Home Hot Toy figure giveaway. Again, I'll go over the rules briefly again. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and tell me in the comments below which of the 3 Spider-Men you're most excited to see in the new movie. As always, hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I'll hopefully catch you guys in the next video.